What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is another horror talk episode, I believe 5, anyway, time to talk about video store memories. So here's my guest. Come on, Greg. I believe it's episode 5.
Sounds about right. I'm back again. Become a reoccurring guest here.
He's a regular.
Become a regular here, you know. So video stores. We don't have them anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
they're irrelevant. But
I mean, I feel like it's people of our generation and older that are only people who get to experience this, which is kind of sad. You know?
They still have that Blockbuster, the
one in Alaska. Yeah, I think it's where it is.
Somewhere. All
right, so let's jump right in. Speaking of video stores, I was always a Blockbuster person. I mean, that's what we had right down the street from me. And even when I moved for college, there was a Blockbuster right there. I know there were some other video stores, but I was mainly always a Blockbuster person.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
I went to Blockbuster and Movie Gallery and Hollywood Video. Yeah,
Hollywood Video, I went there occasionally. We went and checked it out when it first opened in our area. But my brother actually used to work at Blockbuster, my older brother, too. So he worked there for several years. And so, I don't know, we were always just Blockbuster people. So,
Did you have the membership, too?
I did. In fact, right before we filmed this video, I was looking to see if I could find my membership card still. And I don't think I can find it. That would have been
I believe my dad still has it.
That's awesome.
My stepdad.
Yeah. That's it. So let's go with what do you miss about the video stores?
Just going down the aisles, like the horror section was what made me what I am.
That's true. But I would say that it's probably it's far I think going to the store and perusing the aisles, I think, is far better than going on a streaming site and clicking endlessly through things. There's something to it, just walking around and seeing, and also seeing what other people were watching. Because you'd see oh, this movie was sold out. All the copies were gone. You could see what other people were watching too.
Yeah,
which I thought was kind of cool. So anything you don't miss about video stores?
Sometimes the employees.
Yeah,
and the customers.
True.
Depending on who's working or who's checking out.
For me, it's late fees. I don't miss late fees.
I don't miss late fees.
That was a thing back then.
Do you remember they had the video stores with I this is a little before my time, because you could rent the VHS players.
Oh yeah, you definitely could. I think they could rent game consoles at some point.
You could rent
I don't think
consoles.
I ever did that, but going to the video store on Friday night. You'd go there and your mom would take you there or whatever, and you'd have to choose carefully, because whatever you chose, whether it was a video game or movie, that was going to be your whole weekend. You didn't have any other outs, that was your whole weekend. So if you rented something awesome, oh cool, I had a good weekend. Yeah. But if you rented a game, for instance, it was terrible, you just played it all weekend, even if it was bad. So we don't have that anymore.
That's how my dad, he was playing Resident Evil 2 a lot around that time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
I just beat the remake recently, but it was a great time. Just being able to go down those aisles, and I remember, like I said, a lot of times in my channel, I've rented Evil Dead 2 there. And that's how I pretty much.
Yeah, let's go on to memorable rentals. So yours, Evil Dead 2, obviously, is the one you rented so much that your stepdad actually bought it for you.
Yeah.
Just so you would stop renting it.
Yeah. That
makes sense. Any other ones you rented multiple times, or just any other memorable things that you would have never saw had you not been in the video store that day?
I did see Killer Clowns from Outer Space in the aisles.
That's a good one.
But I also would see Arachnophobia, and they had the big tarantula on the cover of the VHS box. That's another thing I miss, is just looking at the box art.
Yeah, the box art, and looking to see what that's what you would look at to judge whether you wanted to see this movie or not. It's pretty good. So for me, I remember being in I don't know, I was probably 10 or 11 years old, somewhere in that neighborhood, and I remember renting James Cameron's Aliens. And I'd never seen the original at that point, which I love the original now, obviously, but I'd never seen it. I'd never seen an Aliens movie, and I rented that one weekend. And I think I watched it 3 or 4 times just in those 2 days. That was my whole weekend, just watching Aliens, and that's forever made me an Alien fan.
Yeah.
That me going to Blockbuster that one faded weekend.
Was it a VHS?
I believe so. It had to have been. It was in the 90s. Yeah. So it had to have been a VHS. And so that's one of my memorable rentals for sure. I mean, that's.
I also remember, just now I remember, this is pretty funny, It was not a horror movie, but like when I was like a kid, I rented at Blockbuster Turtles coming out of the Shells tour.
Nice. I don't think I ever saw that.
Terrible.
Was it like a concert?
Yeah,
like
they
a
would,
Ninja
like,
Turtles concert, huh?
They would like sing.
Wow.
And, like,
I definitely
perform
missed that
live.
one.
I actually had the tape.
I had no idea that exists. It seems like it's right up there with the Star Wars special.
You can look it up
special.
on YouTube.
I bet it's on there. I might do that later. Why not?
You can get a like shredder rap.
Speaking of being a kid at a video store and like an intro to horror, I remember renting when I was like, a lot younger, Ernest Scared Stupid. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah.
That was a fun movie. Like even like as I watch it years later, it's still pretty good. I mean,
They used the trolls.
They
that
did.
were the killer clowns.
The trolls were the reused killer clown, masked or whatever. Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, I also like to rent. I remember they had Pinocchio's Revenge. You probably never seen that.
I've never seen that one. No.
That was a weird one. Like you can look that up later. That's I don't know where you can stream it. It used to be on Netflix, but yeah, that was like it was a VHS. And then I would rent like in October. I'd rent a lot of Halloween movies. Like
that makes
Halloween
sense. Yeah,
franchise.
for sure.
But a lot of VHS and DVD rentals.
Yeah, definitely. So for me, another one that's really memorable for me that I had I'd never heard of this movie ever before this was Dog Soldiers. You know that werewolf movie?
I've seen that
like, I literally just randomly picked that up at a Blockbuster one weekend. And it turns out it's a great werewolf movie. And I'd never heard of it before, and had it not been for me perusing Blockbuster, I would have never probably seen that movie.
And that's another thing I miss about the video store is just randomly finding things you would never see.
Random finds you would never see.
I found Evil Bong like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess you could do that on streaming still, but it also is not the same, I feel like, because, like, when you're at the video store, you're renting it, you're committing to this movie. Mm-hmm. Whereas with streaming, you generally already paid for the service, and you can just turn it off halfway if you want, if you don't like it. But, man, you get it from a video store, man, you made that commitment, you paid the money, you've got the physical copy, you're going to watch it.
And that's what I love about like the libraries now. You can rent movies like definitely. The video store.
That's kind of like the last video. It's kind of like the last video store at this point. It's the public library.
Yeah.
Which I need to utilize more. I haven't been to a library in a long time.
They got a lot.
So. Yeah, I know. I've seen some of the stuff you've rented for sure. I mean, there's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, but I would go to Movie Gallery a lot, and I would go to like Hollywood Video, Family Video, Blockbuster. Movie Gallery was cool because it was like in Olathe.
Yeah, I never went to that one.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was like more of a mom and pop.
Yeah, not like a corporate store like Blockbuster. That'd be cool. I wish those still existed. Like.
But is there what did you prefer? Did you prefer like the tapes or the DVDs? I
mean, obviously when DVDs came out, I switched to those. And a lot of my other, I have obviously some memories from when I was younger, when it was VHS days in the 90s. But I also have a lot from when I was in the early 2000s, by the time you transition to DVDs. And I was just going to say one of them, for sure, was, I remember around 2004, 2005, right in that neighborhood. Zack Snyder made that Dawn of the Dead remake in 2002.
I was just watching that today.
Really? Yeah. Shudder. I mean, it's pretty. I saw it in the movie theater back in the day, and
not
that
as good
kind
as
of.
I remember.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not as good as obviously the original, but still, that movie I feel like kind of kicked off all these other lower budget zombie movies, and so I can remember in 2004, 2005, going to Blockbuster with my friends in college, and. This is literally me. I would just rent every zombie movie I saw. And so, I saw a bunch of movies that
Did you see Shaun of the Dead like that?
No, I saw that one in the theater, though, but I didn't rent that one. But other movies like Dead and Breakfast, which I told you about.
Yeah, great movie.
Low budget, never would have heard of it. Rented that from Blockbuster. Rented another one called Undead from Blockbuster. Literally, there was a time there, a year or two, where I was just renting every zombie movie I could find on the shelves. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's just a lot of good memories. Going to the Blockbuster, I would go there with my parents every Friday night.
Yeah.
Didn't they have Laserdisc?
I don't remember ever seeing a Laserdisc for rent because those things were huge, right? Those big old Laserdiscs.
I don't think they ever.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't remember them ever.
I never used one.
Plus, who had a Laserdisc player? Not very many people had those. I feel like.
Yeah, I never knew anybody that had one.
It's all VHS, man. You had to rewind it too, which is something People don't realize the struggle of having to rewind your tapes.
That was like my dream job, though. Work at the video store. And I never got to live it.
It's too bad, man.
It's too bad because I'm
for a cinephile like you, it'd be perfect,
Yeah, I always admired Randall from Clerks.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Except I wouldn't treat the customers like him.
That's right. Oh man.
But yeah, well, might have been. But anyway, is there any other ones you want to talk about? Any other memories or anything?
I think I've kind of covered most of mine. I rented a bunch of zombie movies. I watched the movies I've never seen before.
They would always have cool candy too.
They had candy and all that junk and
this movie. It's like snacks and
which is kind of cool. You can't get that from a streaming service.
No, you can't. Sometimes they would do promotional stuff at Blockbuster.
Yeah, you could get promotional items.
Remember that movie Castaway with Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
I got a little Wilson. It was was he put it on the hood or something?
Oh yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Get little promotional items. Yeah. Out of the video store, we miss it.
What was your favorite video store? Was it Blockbuster?
It probably was the Blockbuster by my house. I mean, I don't know. It was just familiar to me and it was right there. I mean, like I said, I didn't go to very many other video stores. I imagine that one in Olathe is your favorite, right? That one that was...
Yeah, it used to be there.
One.
Yeah.
See, I kind of wish I would have had one of those growing up. I just had Blockbuster.
Yeah, in L.A., a buddy of mine out there, he said they used to have so many mom and pops.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
They kind of died down.
I bet every little corner had a video.
They still had the pop-up shops at Blockbuster, but I've never been to one. But the horror section was, man, there's just so many cool movies that were on the shelves at the time.
Yeah, it was just cool walking. I mean, even if you weren't obviously you couldn't rent all the movies at once, Yeah. But it was cool just to walk around and look at the
look at the back,
look at the arts. Yeah, look at the I definitely remember walking through the horror section quite a bit and just looking at all the cool art.
Yeah, and that's another. I think I used to see Toxic Avenger on the shelves.
Really?
Just the first one.
That's cool.
But I didn't see it, like I said, till Cinemax.
I was gonna say yeah.
But is there any other video store memories you want to talk about, or I think we covered?
I've covered mine. You got any more? I mean, any other memorable rentals for you?
Other rentals
stuff you wouldn't have seen had you not been in the video store that day. I told you mine, dog soldiers.
I knew a couple of mine, but there was so many cool titles. But I know I liked checking out like I said, Evil Dead 2, Halloween, all the Halloweens.
Oh yeah,
my dad would just pick those up.
Yeah.
And did you remember when Netflix used to have a rental service?
Yeah, that's what I remember. When they first came out, my older brother had this subscription, and he would get the DVDs in the mail. They mail them to you, which is kind of wild to think about now. I don't know if they still do that. They probably don't. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't think they do. I think it's just streaming.
I think it's just streaming at this point. Yeah.
Here's a cool story I'll tell you, and then we can end on it if you want. So I applied at a Blockbuster one time.
Nice.
And I almost got the job. It was their loss, but what happened was there was a bunch of us. It was a group interview, and what happened was basically the guy that was the manager, he was saying they got offered to buy Netflix, but they didn't.
Yeah, Blockbuster. I did know that. Yes,
you did know that. Okay,
Blockbuster was that Netflix was going to let Blockbuster buy them, and they declined, which obviously turned out very bad for Blockbuster.
They were telling me about that.
Yeah, I believe.
We do
sure.
coin.
Yeah, which seems
They had the Blockbuster Blue Box for a while too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That didn't last long. It was Redbox.
So my brother, like I said, worked at Blockbuster, and one of the perks is you got 5 free rentals a week.
Oh, that's tight.
That's pretty. Yeah, that was not nothing back then, I guess. I was gonna say another thing that was cool about the video store is that you had that clerk there that could recommend you movies. Like which you don't have on streaming. You don't have this.
Sometimes you get some really cool people.
Yeah, exactly. That know that if they know what you like, they can totally recommend stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was another thing that was great about the video store.
Yeah, just cool people working there. Like they just recommend you cool stuff. But I think we pretty much covered the bases.
That wraps it up. Let us know your favorite video store memory in the comments down there.
Yeah, definitely put it in the comments, and I would love to hear it. Anyway, that's been this Tour Talk. I'll see you in the next one.